my God, you guys are in for a real treat. I really enjoyed this episode because we hadn't seen...
Well, here's the thing. I realize not everyone can be a TV writer and win an Emmy award. So we've got an award in the form of an Emmy, the human being.
Emmy
for you.
Blotnick.
You just won an Emmy.
Yes.
Blotnick.
You won an Emmy Blotnick in your ears.
Yeah. One of the best, up and coming, awesome comedian.
She's written for Colbert.
Yeah.
But in general, we just spent a month with her in Edinburgh and then got to catch up for the first time on this podcast. So super fun.
Yeah. Does Emmy have an Emmy? Emmy might have an Emmy.
New hashtag Emmy for Emmy.
And she's she's fantastic. You're gonna love her.
I really like this story. As in, I never want to live through it myself, but it's a great story.
Damn right.
Yeah. So enjoy.
Word. Where are you going to be this week?
Well, tonight I'm doing another Good God in Bushwick at the Sultan Room, which is the show that I run with Shane Torres, Tom Takar, and Phoebe Bottoms.
Good God. Love those
Good
people.
God.
Love all those people.
Yeah. And this show, we have Aparna Nancherla,
Aces.
Chris Gethard,
Check.
AJ Holmes.
Don't know him.
Well, he's from Book of Mormon.
So, great.
Yes,
okay.
Broadway star here.
All right.
Brian Cook.
Dweeb.
And Daniel Simonson.
Oh, love him.
I know. So it's going to be a really killer show.
That's a great show.
Yeah. What about you? Where are you going to be this week?
I'm just here. I'm in New York. I'm at the stand. I'm at the cellar. I'm floating around. Just go to every comedy show you can possibly think of. And I may be on a percentage of them.
Yes. And if you listen to our first ever episode, we had the guest Dan Soder. He's taping his HBO special on Wednesday.
We're going to see that.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah. Wednesday. Yeah. Tomorrow. Yes. Yeah. So if it's not sold out, go get tickets to that as well.
Go get tickets.
Yeah.
To everything.
Yeah. And also look up our guest because she's great and you should see her live.
The best.
Enjoy the episode. It's Emmy Blotnick.
Get it. Get it up in them ears. Get it.
Get it.
Get it.
Get it.
Dig it in there. Dig it. It is officially recording.
Cool.
Recording.
We're doing it.
I wonder, does this, how not like me does this sound? This voice, specifically.
It sounds like you doing a voice.
It doesn't sound like I could just, okay, you're right, yeah.
Welcome to 5 Words, the podcast. We never introduce it, but I want to introduce Emmy Blotnick. Who's sitting right here, because we don't like to do that thing where we make our guests just sit there while we shoot the shit.
Oh, I guess, yeah, I do appreciate that.
Yeah. That's always a really awkward moment where you're like, I'm kind of in this conversation, but I'm not yet.
Oh, thanks for bringing me in from the jump.
Yeah.
It's hot stuff.
Yeah.
That would be really, 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 I'm going to bring someone on this podcast that I have no interest in talking to and just be like, look, we run through a couple segments first and then we'll just bring you in.
Get to them.
And then just never, just at the very end, be like, all right, we ran out of time. But like, how did you run out of time?
So rude. I like it.
I got to say, I just want to throw this out there. I was just in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I feel like it's the next, like, cool city.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah. I feel like it's the next Austin / Portland / Asheville.
Do you feel the Mormon in the air?
No. I think that's the thing. I think because all the Mormons all up in Utah and all the, like, counter Mormon, you know, all the we never went to, I'm trying to think of what Mormons did. We never went to
Brigham Young University.
Yeah. We didn't go to BYU and we didn't.
Although that is in Salt Lake.
So. We didn't wear our magical shoes. And, right? Isn't it shoes?
You know nothing about Mormons.
I don't. I do know that there is but in every hotel room there is a Bible and a Book of Mormon. Which I would
love it if it was just like a DVD of the musical.
It's funny that the Book of Mormon is a musical to me first.
Yes.
Way before it's a book. I think I found out it's a book from the musical. Yeah. That's how uninformed I am.
And when you call it, and though it has book in the title, when you say that it's a book, I immediately think, yeah, it's false. It's fiction. You know, and it's like, this isn't real, but they're like, no, it is.
Did you read any of it?
No, because It's I like browsed through it because I was like, I wonder if I should bring this on stage.
Oh no!
But like I don't know why, but it's like it's. I have this weird thing where like I'll put it like this. I kind of don't respect any religion.
That's fair.
You know, I'm not an Islamophobe or an anti-Semite. I'm just a religious phobe, anti-organized religionist. I guess I just don't. Yeah. I have weird feelings about it all. But I also don't want to shit on it at a comedy club. You know what I mean? I also don't want to be the guy who gets on stage like, let me tell you why you're all fucking wrong. Like, it's like, hey, I just think religion's bad, but I'm not going to fucking shout it at you because I know that's going to make you listen to me less.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
You split the room real fast.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that haven't thought deeply about it or just like kind of feel ambivalent that are out to have a fun night, and then you've made them think about a thing that they don't really want to delve into.
I mean, you're both Jews, right?
Yeah.
We're both raised Jewish.
Yes.
But of the non-Jewish.
Pretty laid back, bacon eating, kind of believing in nothing sort of Jew.
Were you raised that way, or you sort of fell out of it?
My parents were both Orthodox, and then were like, we're not going to do that to our kids, but then also didn't enforce anything very consistently. Like my brothers and I all like, my oldest brother stuck with it. My middle brother has not. I have not. But I don't know.
Wait, your oldest brother stuck with it?
Yeah, but not in like a hardcore way. He like his daughter is having a bat mitzvah in November, and it's like the real thing. It's like she did the stuff and she's having the party.
That's cool. Did you have one?
I had just a party that was like, I think it was just my 13th birthday, and I was like, could I fudge this into being a bigger thing than it is? But it was not. It was like neither bat mitzvah nor it was kind of nothing.
It was a little bat, not so much mitzvah.
Yeah.
Wait, did you have one?
Mitzvah is like a celebration.
Yeah, a lot of mitzvah, not so much bat.
Less of the
It was a
bat.
quasi mitzvah.
Bat.
Yeah.
For women, right?
Yes.
Bat. Wait, did you have one?
No. I was raised a Jewish atheist.
Sweet.
Because my grandmother escaped Poland and so was like, fuck this religious shit. I'm going to raise my children with like cultural understanding, but none of the God parts. So then it trickled down to me where I just really don't understand like bits about like why we have certain holidays and like I don't know many of the prayers or anything. Yeah. I never got a bat mitzvah, but I did have a fun 13th birthday party, surprise party scavenger hunt that my friends threw for me. So
it would be nice. Pretty cool if you guys, when's your birthday, Emmy?
June.
All right. Your birthdays are close enough-ish to where you can have like a bat mitzvah themed party.
We should. My birthday's in April. We should do it in May and just have a big blowout.
That
for
would
no
be
reason.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just like
I always was jealous. I always wanted to have a bat mitzvah because it's a huge party and you get a lot of money and presents.
That was what was missing from mine. I felt like I had. It was a slightly fancier birthday party.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, nobody was like dumping cash on me.
Yes.
And I also was not like a happening 13-year-old. I think if we do this party, then we both have to get fingered this time.
Yep.
Because Lord knows it didn't happen for me.
We definitely have to like play music from that time period of our lives and awkwardly dance with boys.
Does the boy who gets to do the fingering, does he have to wear like a glove with Vaseline on the inside for 24 hours so his hand is soft?
Ooh,
no.
I've never considered that a possible demand.
No.
Right? I mean,
such a weird request.
But that sounds like some shit. That religious.
Is that in the Book of Mormon?
No, that's actually in the movie of Mice and Men.
Oh.
Like the main.
Really?
The antagonist. I can't remember. I saw the movie. Everyone remembers the movie. It's a very memorable.
I've never seen the movie.
Me
really?
neither.
Yeah.
It's the whole Lenny. I'm gonna tend to the wabbits, and he gets shot. Oh, it's a real great.
I like that you quoted a line to be like, you have seen it, right?
Yeah, it's that classic novel featuring Elmer Fudd.
I mean, in the movie, that character is played by John Malkovich, and he does it very Elmer Fuddish like. But no, there's just a scene where one of the head ranch guy, he wears one glove the whole time.
Weird.
And it's because it's got Vaseline on the inside. so his one hand can say "salt for my sweetheart."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
That does sound like some religious shit, though. To
It
be like that,
does.
and the fingering, the boys must show up.
Yeah, I
with
mean,
hands covered and coated in cream of the Lord.
it's no weirder than having sex through a sheet, which is something
Exactly.
our
Yes.
people apparently do.
Yeah.
Or only having sex after marriage. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
in the
Yes.
same.
Yeah.
In the
A
same.
very wide across the religious
Taking
board
your
kind of-
virtue and making it wear a glove coated in Vaseline
Yeah.
on the inside.
Yeah. All religion, I guess, at some point is a kink. No. Okay.
Yeah. Probably a little
Yeah.
bit.
As I said, I'm like, this isn't a rule. Okay.
Yeah. That's why I think Salt Lake City, because it's like, for years you just hear about like how it's like, oh, Mormons, but that city's clearly like, we're not the Mormons. We're chill.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's basically like, it's the exact same, not the exact same thing, obviously, but it's Denver. It's like, it's right up in the Rocky Mountain. It's
I mean, Utah's gorgeous.
beautiful, and
state.
like snowboarding and shit's right there, but like, it's a beautiful city. It's just unlike Denver, which is the secret's out on that city.
Yeah.
That's just, you go to Denver now, you're seeing high rises being built and, condos and historic buildings being bought up and turned into WeWorks, and like, and like Salt Lake City still got this like, no one knows about us yet.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of fucking cool. It's going to happen. Also, Jazz, that's the name of their basketball team. They were the New Orleans Jazz, then they've been the Utah Jazz for 40 years.
Which I think is hilarious.
And
yeah,
the main
it's like
reason,
an oxymoron.
Yeah.
yeah, the main reason why there's no Jazz in Utah is because there's no fucking way anyone could play a horn for very long in that altitude. Like you'd have troubadours just passing out from. It's like, all right, I can't do a solo. Fuck. But yeah, Salt Lake City. Just want to give you a shout out. I think you're the next cool city.
All right.
Nice.
I've been there once for a choir convention because I was a nerd in high school. And I almost dated a Mormon also in the choir. And then
What?
I found out that he was like deeply Mormon and did not go on a date with him. I was 15 maybe. 14, 15.
What were you in the choir?
An alto?
Which one's an alto? Don't tell
Or
me.
a
Just
second. I was a second soprano.
just do what a second soprano would do.
No, I don't know. It's like right below the
Oh,
highest
Jesus
note.
Christ.
Yep, that's what it sounds like.
Sean's still at altitude.
Yeah.
But you did match my note, which I'm very impressed
Did
with,
I
'cause
really?
He's pretty tone deaf.
Oh man, I would love to know what it's like to be able to to have good musical taste. Just being honest, or I guess not taste, but like be able to hear. Like I can't hear
You
that
mean
shit.
pitch? Yeah.
It just sounds. It all sounds the same to me.
Do you sing?
I sing alone in cars and showers when I think I can get away with it, but in public it terrifies me a little bit. Yeah.
Do you know that in Thailand, stand up? Apparently, I just learned this. I think it's Thailand. I could be wrong. It's some eastern, like southeastern, maybe the Philippines. Like comedy is mixed with karaoke.
Oh no.
So like if you're a comedian, you also are expected to do karaoke songs throughout.
It's the goddamn comedy jam.
It is exactly what it is. Send
Oh,
him
my
over there.
goodness.
Josh Adam Myers, go over there, bud.
That's wild.
You'd be a god over there.
I don't like karaoke, and I think it's because we do stand up that
I agree.
it's like
I used
it's
to-
too
Yeah. I used to really enjoy karaoke before I started performing.
But now it feels like work in a bad way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you know what? I never understood people who rented private karaoke rooms.
I agree. That is weird.
It is fucking. Have you been to one?
I have many times
Have you?
actually.
Yes.
Many times.
I have lots of friends that love karaoke, and up until recently, I used to go with the flow. I no longer go with the flow.
Yeah, I mean, because it's like I've only done it one time, and it was like I guess I thought like at least the room would be projected into on a screen in another room where strangers could see you doing it. But like the idea of just like, oh, we're all just gonna do a karaoke song for one another. Mm-hmm. That is,
Yeah.
What?
It seems as bad to me as when you go on a date with someone or someone in college is trying to woo you and they play a song at you. That's what it feels like.
Yes, where you have to be like giving them facial feedback.
Yes.
Because they're performing, but there's no, ooh, it feels, I would rather watch most of my friends masturbate, I think. Like, it is, I would rather.
That should be, I mean,
Karaoke, masturbate.
Karaoke, private masturbation rooms.
Yeah.
I take this back right away, but as soon as you said, I was like, oh, that's a nightmare. But I do feel like it defeats the point if you're not like getting the energy going in a bar full of bonding strangers.
Strangers.
Yeah. Yes.
Like it is almost like a giant like a room where it's like, hey, let's all go poop together.
Yeah.
Like I would rather poop than do karaoke. There.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for
only
finding a
two-
happier medium between singing
three.
and jerking off.
There's 3 karaoke places that I like in New York. One is called the Old
3?
3.
I didn't know you had this much
I didn't
knowledge.
either until this exact moment.
Okay, what are they?
There's one called I think it's the Old Carriage Inn or the Carriage Inn in Park Slope, and it's like one of those old divey dive bars that's full of old men just singing really off key, and it's hilarious to watch, and everyone sort of talks over it, and then eventually someone will sing a song and you'll join in, but it doesn't feel like it takes over the entire bar, so it's kind of like a fun little sideshow.
Right.
The other is Sid Gold, who plays
Sid Gold is fun.
piano and does like live band
Where is
karaoke.
this?
He kind of rotates, but the last time I did it was at the Standard Hotel on the top roof deck floor.
Whoa, rotating
And-
karaoke
Yeah.
pianist.
Yeah, and
All
he
right.
has like a list of songs that he'll play, and most everyone that sings is like a professional singer, and it's cool to watch. And the last one is Marie's Crisis. It's a little bar on the.
I wouldn't call that. Would you call that karaoke?
It kind of is, though. I mean, it's a piano. It's a bar that the piano is underneath,
Yeah.
and then
I've been- we've
Broadway
been-
singers go and sing mostly the Little Mermaid soundtrack.
Yeah.
See-
Have you been to that place?
No, I haven't
Marie's
heard
Crisis?
of it,
It's in
actually.
the West Village. Yeah, I went there for my birthday years ago, and the guy was like, "Whose birthday is it?" Because it's a bunch of gay Broadway stars and non-gay, okay, but it's all people who are in theater.
Yeah.
So when they sing, it's like, whoa. You know, like,
Yeah.
and like the guy behind the piano was like, "Whose birthday is it? What do you want?" And I was like, the entire Little Mermaid catalog, being somewhat sarcastic, and he just ripped right into it, and just song after song crushed it.
Yeah. Oh,
Everyone
dang.
joined it.
It's not traditional
the only one he
karaoke.
skipped
Oh, yeah,
was
yeah.
"Kiss the Girl."
Oh,
the
that's
only
a
one,
fun one, though.
It's the only one he skipped.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I get it. But
He didn't want to kiss girls.
it's in the West Village.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
it makes sense.
But none of those are traditional karaoke places. They're all
Right.
like someone is really performing, except for the first one. That one's just fun.
Yeah,
stupid.
yeah. That sounds nice.
There is a place in Nashville called Santa's Lounge, which is a double wide turned into a bar, the shithole, and they do karaoke there. And the only reason that place is interesting is because it's all these aspiring country music stars living in Nashville. So they get on stage and just fucking, or there's not even a stage. They get in corner, they sit in the corner of the room and just rip it. And
Discover me.
yeah. And like there's me. Whenever I'm in Nashville, I'll go there and I'll do a song because I like being the break in the monotony of musical talent. I like being the person who goes up, who's just like, all right, here we go, and I clearly can't sing.
Oh man,
but
like
I'll
bathroom breaks for everybody.
yeah, exactly. If you gotta do one, a numbered 1 or 2 or 3, even now's your time.
I love it. And I feel like in my memory, that's the kind of place that has like peanut shells all over the floor. You know, like
That's
all
a
over
nice
the floor, all
atmosphere.
over the ceiling,
Yeah.
all over the wall, just sticky.
It's
It's
impressive.
beautiful. Oh, and you can't swear, and I love shit like that. Where they're like, no swearing. It's just like, all right, I'm not gonna.
I guess you gotta-
but I appreciate. There's something I like about feeling slightly like a kid in trouble.
yeah.
You know, it's like, don't swear, and you're like, I won't, man. Sorry, and then everyone's just a little like Sean, and then you do Foo Fighters Everlong, and you can't sing, but you're confident.
Yeah.
That's me.
wait, so you said that you used to go with the flow, which is why you
Yes.
went to a lot of karaoke places, and now you don't anymore. Are you
do
against the flow? Are you getting out of the river? What happens?
If people suggested I go home, that's what happens now. I lost my tolerance for it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be the one singing. It's got to be pretty much a car or a shower. But I also don't enjoy my friends singing that much. I want to keep liking them, and yeah. So I think if you say no once or twice, people get the hint and stop inviting you. So I only had to be a bummer once or twice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's interesting about you as a person is like I knew you before we went. We were all at the Edinburgh Fringe in August, and I knew you before that. But in Edinburgh, I realized that you are there. You are so there's like a deceit to you because you come across as this like I'm super friendly and I'm just I'm very nice. And I'm just, like you said, go with the flow. You have like a very go with the flow, and then you get to know you, and you're like, oh no, man, she's a wolf. She'll fucking get you. She'll fucking take you down.
I agree with that a little bit.
Take it?
Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like you come across as like just like polite and kind and nice, which is a great quality to have in a person, but also we're in the comedy performance world, and then you learn that there's some bite to you, and it's great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I feel like the bite I learned to conceal for when it is necessary.
Yeah.
Smart. Good tactic.
You're like a kung fu master, and those guys all look like fucking nerds. You're like, what is this guy gonna do? And then he fucking fucks up like 9 people at once without using his hands, and you're like, that's Emmy. She comes across as just this like, hi, just bookish, like, hello guys, I'm friendly. I can kind of play the mandolin. I don't know. What do you guys want to do? I majored in poli-sci, and then you start talking. You're like, oh no, dude, she'll rip right through you. You're nothing. She's a hot knife, and you're butter, and we're all just butter. Emmy's a hot knife, and we're all butter.
Hey, thank you. You're more than butter. You're hot knives as well. I think of both of you.
We're all some hot knives. Temperature.
Yeah.
Good
but like
band name.
Trio of
the hot knives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although it's a Bright Eyes song, I feel like, or a Connor Overs song. Hot Knife.
Hot knife.
No.
Well, so you know what another song is his? He's got another song that goes. That's Billy Corgan. I'm sorry, I'm confused. And I love both of those guys. I think they're both very.
They sound like
talented.
they're trying to shit.
That was
a little tonight.
There was this comedian who did that once. I'm talking like fucking 14 years ago in New Orleans. Like, here's my impersonation of Billy Corgan, a constipated Billy Corgan, and he just. And he did that at the front of his set, and no one really laughed, except a few of us who were like, uh-huh. And then way later, he's like, all right, here's my impersonation of Billy Corgan on stage in front of thousands of fans. And he just did the same thing. And I was like, I guess, okay.
You got to respect revisiting a joke that didn't work that well.
Yeah.
At all.
It's delightful for a certain few, and you're like, here's that treat again.
Absolutely.
Oh, God, I was such a fucking pumpkinhead in the 90s. Smashing Pumpkins, which Pumpkinhead's a bad thing that implies that they destroy your brain head.
Is that what their fans were called?
I don't think that was pre-fans.
Oh, fans having collective names.
Yeah.
Pre-Stan culture.
That was pre.
I don't know why I said I was a professor.
No,
Stan culture.
Yeah. Stan culture?
Yeah.
What is Stan? Oh, is that the Eminem?
Like a super fan?
Yeah,
I think it
fan.
did come from Eminem.
Yeah, it did, yeah.
It's interesting because it's embraced by so many like little tweens who I feel like probably weren't even around for the Eminem song.
No, I don't think they know where it comes from.
Also, they clearly never heard that song because that guy commits murder-suicide.
Yes.
And Eminem doesn't return his letters. So,
Right.
It's like, you don't want to be a Stan.
It's not a good thing.
It's
Yeah. I don't think even Stans want to be Stans. Yeah.
No, I don't think anybody wants to be a Stan.
Yeah.
Be a Stan Lee. I mean,
Sure.
by that I mean create the Marvel universe.
Yeah. Or be a Stanley Yelnats, dig some holes. Yeah.
Or a Stanley Tucci.
That's
great
a
actor.
That's a
I do
great
love
Stan
Stanley
to be.
Great, you know?
Yeah. So good.
Wow, we're all a bunch of Tucci heads
Yeah,
in here.
yeah.
I didn't realize. We're a gaggle of hot knives, Tucci heads.
Yeah. He's so good.
Fucking Tooch Patrol. I think.
Now that's the band name.
Woo.
Tooch Patrol. Dude. Oh man, I wonder what Stanley Tucci's doing. I wonder right now. Does Stanley Tucci have any idea that there's a podcast in Brooklyn being recorded that's just having a circus with his God-given last name, Tucci, 2 C's.
He's so good though.
He is good.
Yeah, and his name fits him so perfectly. Not a lot of people could pull off the name Stanley Tucci.
I think he could be more like Sebastian Maniscalco could be Stanley Tucci.
That's true. That is true.
Nope. Oh man. Oh, we had some fun talking about old Sebastian Maniscalco.
Oh boy.
That guy is is bold and robust like a marinara.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Like a bolognese. Ooh, it's hot. Just fill you right up. I wish Stanley Tucci would get sponsored by Gucci. So it could be Gucci by Stucci.
Oh, that'd be
Gucci by Tucci.
Gucci by Stucci.
Gucci by Tucci.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That's wait. Where are we at the? Oh, okay. Yeah. We should do the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. We went ahead. We opened fire on that feces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're gonna table Stanley Tucci for now.
We're gonna
Yes.
table this.
Let's put a pin in it.
Yes. Oh, that's what they say.
That's what. Which to me, put a pin in it sounds like you're definitely like going back to do it more.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, okay, because it seems like people use it as in the put a pin in it and we're just going to leave it alone.
No. I think
They
it comes
mean
from
to
like put
revisit.
it on the bulletin board and we'll get back to it. kind
Oh,
of
I
thing.
thought it was a sewing thing.
Oh,
That-
I mean that could be.
No, I'm
totally
sure you're
right.
right because it's like office talk. It's
Yeah.
It
not,
is odd, but
you
I
don't
like
hear
the idea
crochet
that
circles.
the pin is like, oh, we're gonna leave that and we'll sew it up later.
Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
I like that. I like yours better.
Oh, I thought it was like an ATM, like you put the pin in and fucking cash came out, baby.
How long did that take you while you were sitting there thinking about a synonym for pin?
Because if an idea is good enough to put a pin in, that means it's time to sell.
Oh, yeah.
Sell.
You're taking out some cash for this one.
You're going to have to put a pin in that.
On that note, Emmy, can you tell us a story in 5 words?
Yes,
Okay.
I can.
What are your 5 words?
Here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
Texas TP, Camaro Greyhound Beto.
Camaro.
Hold up.
Greyhound.
Wait, can I have that piece of paper that you just used? Can
I wrote 2. There's one.
Beto.
You're going to see a bonus 6th word that you
That's
shouldn't
okay.
see, but
I
it's
won't.
okay.
It's all right.
So Texas.
Texas TP
TP.
Camaro Greyhound.
How did she spell TP?
Like a TP.
Like
TEEPE.
okay.
Like a tea, like when you drink a lot of
Like
Earl
TP
Grey,
for
you
your
gotta use the
bunghole.
bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, it could have been toilet paper.
It could have been.
Yeah.
No, you're doing good
Yeah.
sleuthing.
Well, this story, as we all know, this is an old Emmy Blotnick classic here. Do you want to
Yes.
kick this off?
Sure.
Okay, go for
well,
it.
obviously, we're starting
Yeah.
in the grand old state of Tejas. That's Texas for you. That's where my dad is from.
Right.
And I'm going to place the story in Austin
Okay.
because
Yeah.
we're going to keep it weird.
That's a
So
good-
the story starts in Austin.
Right.
And Emmy is there for a comedy show.
Right. And as we all know, Emmy, a lot of Emmy's fan base is a lot of high school kids, as we all know. So they go to her show during the week because when you do shows, you're sometimes. Yep. See that
Yeah,
it chimes. That's
You're
I
on
guess
the
I-
right path.
Right.
You're on the right path.
Sometimes you go to shows in the middle of the week. She was doing a show on a Wednesday in Austin, and afterwards, some of her fans were like, "Hey, you want to come out for White Wednesday?" You know what that is?
No.
White Wednesday is a thing, a cultural thing around a lot of schools in the South. Is they go, it's a Wednesday night before homecoming. They go and roll people's houses with toilet paper. Right?
Ah.
Right? And Emmy was like, and they explained this to her. They're like, yeah, we're going to go roll a bunch of people's houses with, toilet paper. And Emmy, being the environmentally conscious person she is, she's like, wait a second, though. That's wasteful. What if we had some more fun? What if we built some shelters out of toilet paper? And they're
Oh, so like toilet paper forts. Yes, I
But-
do remember this
right,
now.
toilet paper forts, but all they had in the trunk of the car were a bunch of hockey sticks. So they improvised. And we're like, well, let's build up some toilet paper teepees.
Ah, nice. Toilet
Right.
paper teepees.
Right.
So they start building up these toilet paper teepees.
Right.
And
Which
they're
is
like,
a very Austin thing to do.
exactly. They're keeping it weird.
Yeah.
And along the way, they're like, all right, this is getting kind of tired. Or we're getting kind of tired of hauling all this stuff around.
Yeah.
And they found these hockey sticks in the trunk of one of the high schoolers' Camaros. But
Camaro.
it's like old Camaro, an old broken down car that this kid is just like, he's kind of fixed up himself. So you're driving it around. You get a little far, like down a little bit on the outskirts of like the main area in this Camaro, and it breaks down.
And that, of course, another very Austin thing to do is just take a ride in a Camaro till it breaks down. So as you're out there wondering, shit, what were we even taking this ride for? We had our shelters set up. We had our teepees built.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I guess we got to walk now. And there you come across a pack of wild greyhound dogs. Greyhounds, right?
Yeah.
Which, and that's the thing. What are you going to do? Ride them? No, you're going to run with them.
Yeah.
You're like, you know what? We decided to get back to our roots back there and back to the land and build these teepees. Now we're here amongst this pack of wild dogs. Let's just jog with them back to the teepee village we built and surprise our friends. So that's what you did. You're jogging back to town.
And you run into a man that all of the greyhounds are afraid of. So they stop suddenly.
Yeah.
This man is kind of like in the shadows. And then he whistles. And they all circle around him like he's their owner. And he steps out into the light. And it's Beto.
Beto O'Rourke?
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that part.
Yeah.
So that's, in essence, that's the story about the time, Emmy, you were doing comedy in Texas. Some of your fans, appear to be high school kids, wanted you to go out for White Wednesday. You convinced them, hey, let's actually just build some teepees, just because that's a very Austin thing to do. And then one of the guys had a Camaro and was like, hey, let's go for a ride.
Absolutely.
And you did, and you broke down, came across some wild greyhounds, decided to run with them back into town. They turned out to be owned by the one and only Beto O'Rourke.
That's when you met the Texas candidate.
Yeah. And also you found out none of those, your fans were actually high school kids. They were all in their 20s.
Yeah.
How accurate were we? That was pretty close, right?
We nail it.
Here's what's accurate. Here's what's accurate.
Right.
The state of Texas, you guessed correctly.
Yes.
The Beto is Beto O'Rourke.
I figured.
So you're 2 for 5.
All right. That's
nice.
Everything else in the middle was nonsense.
okay. Yeah. Complete nonsense.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's the real story?
Okay, so this was in June. A friend of mine who I know from New York, she is from Texas, got married in Marfa, which is like a little desert town.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah, you've been there?
I've heard great things about it. Very cool, like artsy town.
Yes.
Very post-apocalyptic, but there was no apocalypse.
Yes, and it's like designed for Instagram photos. It's a very photogenic place.
Yeah.
That fake Prada store on the highway is on the way out to Marfa, the one that's like an art installation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's very inconvenient to get to Marfa from here. It couldn't be more inconvenient, but I love my friend. So my boyfriend and I went to Marfa. We had to fly into El Paso and then we rented a Camaro and drove about 3 hours. And
Really?
Yeah. And
Wait, did you choose to rent a Camaro?
Yes. Because we were like, we got to make this cool.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's worth
That's
having a fun road.
fucking
It's
right
a flat
there.
drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just through the desert. We're like, how fucking cool is this going to be? So my friend got married at a place called El Cosmico, which is a campground. It's like a hipster campground.
Right.
And it was all booked up, but there were 2 hotels in the town. So we got a room in the hotel. And my friend was like, one of the teepees opened up, you should take it. And so we canceled the hotel room and booked a teepee because we love my friend. And we thought she would know what was best for us. But it was a legit fucking hot teepee.
Yeah.
It's also, Marfa isn't a place where you should camp because there are people, like civilized people, stuff is so so nearby.
How very Jewish of you.
Yeah, it's so
Look at all the stuff.
there's like cockroaches and stuff.
Oh,
I don't know if they're roaches exactly.
And a
but it's
Chipotle.
like, there's like there's plenty of human, like functioning human stuff. So this teepee was dark and hot and the same price as a hotel room. And so we got there and we were like, oh fuck, we're like too prissy, New Yorky Jewy for this. By we I mean me. My boyfriend can handle it. But I was like, oh fuck, I would love a toilet. So
Yeah. Like my own toilet.
Yeah.
Specifically.
We shared with all the wedding guests, which I didn't know very many of. So it was worth it because it's like my friend on this beautiful day, beautiful place, all this stuff. But the teepee was very hot. So we were going to drive to the venue where the wedding was. And the keys to the Camaro go missing somewhere between the campground and the wedding. Oh, no. And my boyfriend realizes it and starts panicking. So I'm like, hey, don't panic. It's okay. We're going to find a way back. It's okay. And he's like, we're in the middle of nowhere and there's no one.
Oh, no.
I'm responsible for this sports car. And what do we do? And so he starts pacing all over this town looking for the keys. And in the process finds his own sunglasses crushed in the middle of the road. And he's like, that doesn't help.
That's a sign. Yeah. An omen.
So we're at the wedding, and this pretty drunk girl who I know from this and that turns around and she's like, the keys have to be here because if the keys had been in the car, if the keys weren't in the car wouldn't have worked. And so we believe her, and we reduce the search to just the wedding and can't find it. We call the Hertz company and we're like, hey, we've got your shiny new Camaro, but no keys. Can someone come get us? And they said, yes, someone will come get you at 7 a.m. so you can still make your flight. And we were like, hallelujah. 7 a.m, there's no car. And my boyfriend calls Hertz and they were like, oh yeah, no one's coming. And we were like, what? And they're like, yeah, no one can do it. You're in the middle of nowhere. No one's going to come.
Oh, my God.
So they towed the car away. There's no one coming to get us. We're going to miss 2 flights to get home. No. So we take a series of connecting Greyhound buses through the desert in Texas that takes basically an entire day.
Oh, God. God.
Sean hates this.
Oh, God. Oh.
We're wheeling our suitcases down a desert road.
I forgot about luggage.
Oh my God.
Wheeling our suitcases down the road, and in the middle of a desert road, we see the keys to the Camaro.
Shut the fuck up.
Crushed.
Oh my God.
Crushed by like a truck or something.
Oh, so they wouldn't have worked
gone.
anyway.
The car had already been taken away.
That's another omen.
I know. So we get 2 Greyhound buses. We go to El Paso. We have to spend the night in El Paso. Because,
Lucky. Now we're talking.
And it's a Sunday, and I didn't know this because I didn't know that town. But on Sundays, a lot of things are closed because they are churchy people. So there's like not really anywhere to eat. And we go to the hotel where we're staying at, and we're like, hey, we just got in from like a hell of a journey of all these buses full of people on fentanyl. Could we have something to eat? And no, I don't know if they were on fentanyl, but they may have been. So, so they were like, oh, we can't. We have a private event. And Beto O'Rourke comes down the stairs and orders a single malt, which is a weird drink to have in Texas.
In El Paso, like
have a tequila, Beto.
Tequila.
And for some reason,
and mezcal. Even.
Yes,
you know?
A mezcal would be lovely.
Yeah.
You can see Ciudad Juarez from El Paso, and it's like just bustling with tacos and things that are open. But in El Paso, it's like a ghost town. So,
oh my God.
So Beto leaves, and my boyfriend has. I'm trying, for the sake of speed and efficiency in this story.
No worries, we got time.
I have left out that my boyfriend and I have each cried twice at different points in this journey.
I'm actually proud of you.
Thank you.
I would have broken 4
you
myself.
saw Sean's reaction to the luggage is like, we would have had so many fights by this point.
Yes. So here, the key to this whole thing working out is that we took turns having them. We were never both melting down. One person cried and the other one went, it's okay. And then one person cried and the other one went, here, have an Ativan. That sort of thing. But crying all day long on different buses, and then Beto comes out, and we find out we can't eat dinner because of his private event, and we're like, motherfuck! God. But we've made friends with a bartender. By the end of the night, she's like, I can get you guys a couple of tacos, and we're like, hallelujah!
Yes,
but.
That's so insane too. You're like, we've been on Greyhounds.
Yeah.
We can't get a fucking taco.
Yes. So, okay. Yeah. So the first meltdown is my boyfriend saying that it's stupid for Beto to drink whiskey. And the second one is him saying the president can't come from this city because no one's working. So those are 2 of the fun parts of the meltdowns. But so the hotel makes us 2 tacos each, and they are fancified exactly what you don't want from a taco, where it's like sauces in little squirt bottles where they go like fart, like 80 little dots of different sauces. But there's like one of them is matcha yuzu, and you're like, no, make a taco. And so it's like, it's too fancy, it's too overdone. My boyfriend takes a bite of one and he's like, this isn't good. And he goes, excuse me, could we get some limes and some hot sauce to try to salvage these tacos? And the bartender goes, these tacos have everything they need.
Oh, God.
And so here comes meltdown number 3. This one is both of us going like, what the fuck? We can see Mexico.
Also, just want to point out to the listeners, your boyfriend is a chef.
Yes.
So also that's melting down on that level too.
Yes.
Like, I do this.
And I'm guessing you didn't have your passports, right? So there's
No
Yeah.
passport. And also we had been traveling for like 16 hours at that point, so it wasn't like.
And also, probably Juarez not the best town to stumble
No,
into
but there's
just for
food
food.
there.
But
You
that's
can see
but
it.
just for food. That's
Just
Yeah.
whitest, tiredest people alive.
Yeah.
But so we ate these like pretty bad tacos. They were pretty expensive.
Oh no.
We go up to the hotel room. The whole thing is just like, it just smells like someone's pumping human poop into the room. It's like a really like sleek modern hotel, but it just smells like someone's ass.
Yeah.
And so like we had been making fun of Greyhounds and like the bus stops and all this stuff.
Oh, God.
And those all smelled better than the hotel room.
Oh my God.
Like it was just one thing. The whole wedding cost us about $3,000 in
my
travel
God.
expenses.
Yeah.
Yeah, riding that much bus, which I've done. Now I've never done on a Greyhound. I swore off Greyhound in like 1998. I took a Greyhound from New
When
Orleans.
you were like 8?
1998. I was 20.
Okay.
I took a Greyhound from New Orleans to St. Louis and was like, never again.
Wow.
Never again. It was just crazy fuck after crazy fuck getting on and off. Delays, drivers stopping like wait. I remember the driver had way too many like smoke breaks.
Yes. It
was
really
like-
does seem to be up to the driver entirely
Yeah.
how the bus is. Like
Yeah.
I sort of came to warm to the bus stop part because I think like when you're in hell on a bus, there's
Yeah.
something kind of adorable about like everybody get off and put on your backpacks and come back with snacks and we all eat our cookies together.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, hey, it's lovely. It's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everybody's like twitching and doing
Yeah.
something's going wrong.
Yeah,
if you're
I know it's not
crossing the
fucking-
desert.
Right.
Yes.
I know it's not very,
my God.
very fucking nice and compassionate to say crazy fuck after crazy fuck. But in those situations, I go from love the world mode to shut down survival mode.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
not going to throw you under the bus, but I am also not going to stop you from throwing yourself under the bus in these moments. Like fucking get me. I've only done megabuses where I've had long. Megabus is just as shitty at times. So it's those long.
Yeah, but it's less crazy people.
Well, there's just maybe. It's arguable. That's a discussion right there. But like,
It feels like it's more students. I don't know why, but
Megabus?
Megabus feels like it's more students.
maybe. But I mean, like that. What you just said too. It's like I'm all about someone having a crazy cool wedding. But like, if you're gonna do some destination shit like that, you better have the money to provide the accommodations across the board.
I
Yeah.
think I do. So she's from Texas, so a lot of her friends were coming from
True.
Austin.
Okay,
and
yeah.
one correct part of your story,
I don't want.
a mention of Austin. But so it's less of it's like 3 hours or whatever for them.
Yeah.
But for us, it was just such a journey, and
Yeah.
I didn't tell her any of this because I don't want to like make the bride feel
Of
bad.
course,
She
yeah.
knew about the lost car key, but I didn't tell her about the part where like. We missed a connecting Greyhound in the middle of the desert because the guy didn't change the sign.
Wait,
That
you
was all-
missed a connector?
We missed a connector because
Oh.
the guy had Dallas in the windshield, so we were like, well, that's not us, but it was, and he just hadn't changed the sign.
Oh my God.
How long were you just there?
We were at a rest stop for 3.5 hours, and that was where one of my cries was.
Oh God, I almost just vomited.
I know.
Hearing that, just like, oh, Emmy,
I ate everything you can eat at a rest stop that's fun, and then after a while, you're like,
Yeah.
I had like the blue Gatorade, I had
Yeah.
fucking sour straws, I had Pop-Tarts, I did like the cheese squirt from the machine, and
my
then
God.
it all hits you, and the sadness just takes you over.
Yeah, you can take one good poop in a rest stop, and like, I can't go back in there. I
Yeah.
can't go back in.
Yeah.
Rest stop life, man.
The kind that has showers and stuff.
Oh yeah,
too.
those are yeah.
Yeah.
Where you almost like, well, I'm gonna be here for a while. Might as well get a shower number. Like shower number 3 is open for ticket 22. You're
Oh
like,
my lord.
yeah,
No, I've
Shower.
never done that.
yeah.
No.
Wait, Caitlin, you've never showered at a rest stop?
Nope.
I thought I knew you.
Ah.
I have slept overnight at many airports, and the last time I took a megabus, I threw up 3 times.
Oh, they must have loved you. Do you think being on the bus makes you worse? Is that what does the bus just bring it out of everyone, or were you bad before?
I wasn't feeling nauseous at all, but that bus, oh my God,
Dude, nothing about, I mean, bus, okay, when you have to take a bus two or 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, I'll even go as far as to say 6 hours, not that bad. But what you're talking about, where it was probably 14 hours of bus riding, is like, I would rather just move to Marfa. Just like we just live here now. We just live in Marfa.
Remember when you were so mad at just being on the train from Edinburgh? It's
so
like a nice train.
There's two things the British do in
Leaving
public.
Edinburgh for 2 days was very stressful for us, actually.
Edinburgh, the two things that they do in the UK that drive me fucking insane. One is that everything is way smaller than it needs to be. And I know that they would argue the opposite. Well, things are just quite large in America, though, aren't they? I know that would be their thing. But trains specifically are very fucking tiny, and they do not have the storage space, right? So, and then we get on this train. We're late getting to the train, and that's not our fault. It was our Uber drivers. But it was actually kind of funny because we didn't in any way verbalize that we were late getting to the train. We were both just silently stressed out. Yeah. And at one point he just goes, "So guys, you're not talking at all. Is everything okay?" and we were just like, "Yeah, man, we need to get to the train station real fast if possible." But like, so we got on this train and it was overcrowded, and it was just like overpacked. And people's luggage was just spilling out into the aisles. And I'm also like, I know how this is about to sound. I'm an overtly considerate human being. And I can't, like, there's like a psychological thing that happens. Like, I can't be that asshole who leaves their luggage in the middle of the aisle or makes everybody around them wait while I figure out where to put it. I'm thinking about everyone else way more than myself to a fault. So I'm already flipping the fuck out. Like, if I was a robot and you were looking through my eye, like my scanner, it would be like, luggage rack full. Why is there rogue luggage in aisle? Why destroy? And like seats, too many people seated at these seating areas. Why too many people seated? Yeah. Overbooked train. Why no storage? I'm just like freaking the fuck out. And we just have to like cram our shit in random little nooks and crannies of the train. Oh. And then luckily, the seats that we ended up sitting in were people who didn't show up for the train. So we ended up getting like decent seats for the majority. And it was
we had reserved seats. They were just at that table that are too small where your legs have to go like leg and then someone else's leg in between your leg, that thing.
But like, but that's the thing. Like, it's just everything's so fucking tiny and condensed there. Oh, that's the other thing. People are so polite about everything there. And that it makes me angrier because you can see in their eyes that they're just boiling over with rage, but they're culturally taught not to do that.
Yes.
So you see them being like, okay, that's clearly nowhere to sit, and they're boiling over, and I'm like, just be angry. Just give me one moment, like, this is crazy. This is all.
That's the joy of New York, I feel like, is that people never had a lid on that to begin with.
Yeah, you just
someone would just run in and be like, "This is fucking bullshit."
I'm like, thank you. You're right.
Yes.
But yeah, that 5-hour train ride. I mean, the train, I fell asleep and it got fine. But like for the first hour, I was just like,
where are you going to
London. And then we got to London, and then we had to get an Uber to get to a show in time, and the train had been slightly delayed. So then that was a whole thing. And then the next day we were going to Spain, and that was a whole thing because we almost missed our flight to Madrid, and then our flight to Madrid was delayed, so then we missed the next flight. We had to spend the night in Madrid at like a airport hotel, and like it was just like,
did Beto show up?
Yeah. And actually everything you just said sounds infinitely better than had to miss a Greyhound and spend the night.
It was like, it was just stressful, but it was like, it's no big deal.
Yeah. Were there enough tapas to go around?
No, well, actually,
so many tapas.
Actually, we were in the Basque region the next day, so they're called pijos.
Pijos.
Pijos. Oh. Yeah, we went to San Sebastian, which is fucking.
This was all after Edinburgh?
Yeah, it was like 4 days. Yeah. Wait, have you ever been to San Sebastian, Spain?
I don't think I've been to Spain, but not San Sebastian.
San Sebastian, it's the Salt Lake City of Spain. It's not.
It's absolutely. I mean,
not. It's Salt Lake in the sense that there's so much delicious food that the water actually is saltier, and it's the ocean. It's not a lake, but no, it's amazing.
So the ocean.
But no, like that's the thing about travel. I love it, but I only love it upon arrival. You know what I mean? Like, traveling is just like once out of every 15 times, it's 100% stress free.
Yeah.
The rest of the time, it's just like something like today, like flights
Some
delayed.
shit's gonna happen.
Something's gonna happen. I mean, I'm still, I'm fortunate to get to do it all, but like that actually is the test of a relationship across the board, whether it be romantic, platonic, professional. If you can travel with someone, and you both have your fucking freakouts. Like I remember we were in personal, but we were in Madrid at the airport, and I was having a fucking meltdown. Because it was like we're trying to figure out how to get on this bus to get to where our hotel is, and I'm just like fucking rage bunny. And Caitlin's just calmly looking around, figuring everything out, and at one point she just goes, "It's just like what the phrasing you used made me realize, like, okay, yeah, maybe I am being a little bit of a bitch."
What did I say?
No, you were just like, it's like you just keep. What was not conniption fits, not hissy fits, temper tantrums.
Yeah.
You're like, you just keep throwing temper tantrums, don't you? And that made me realize, like, oh God, is that what I'm doing?
That was a very bitchy thing of me to say.
But it was the perfect
I will say,
thing.
in terms of stress and travel, my innate reaction is to like calm everything down and just be like, how do we solve the problem in front of us?
Yes, that is most of the time I can manage that.
Yeah.
Weirdly, with that car key going missing, I knew it was such a fucking disaster for us that I was like, freaking out is not going to help this at all. And I went into like reassuring mode just because I was like, if I yell at him, what happens? I mean, what good does this do?
Yeah.
So weirdly, there was one time we were taking a train in Japan, and my boyfriend put his credit card into a slot that like a receipt was supposed to come out of, and the card got stuck, and I was way more mad about that. Just 'cause I was like, you dipshit, the card doesn't even go in there. And that was like way more of a reaction than being stranded.
and you're talking, you were in Japan, right?
Yeah.
Which is a dangerous place to be angry because you could just pick a katana up, right? They just grab one off the. They just have katanas laying around.
You know Japan.
That's why they're I don't know if you knew this, listeners. If you've never been to Japan, that's why Japan is such a crime-free country, is because there are just katanas around for anyone to pick up. I just making.
That's right.
It's not true.
Hot Knife Patton.
Just like this. What's that?
Hot Knife Patton's World of Blades.
World of Blades. That would definitely be my TV show.
Oh my God, we should rival Forged by Fire.
I like to just throw out facts that aren't true. So lies is what they're called. About places where people have never been.
I mean, people are smart enough, and people have been to Japan.
But there are some people who've never been to Japan who would go like, who would logically go, no, that makes sense. They just have katanas laying around, and it's like you're not going to fuck with someone because they could just pick up a katana, even if you have one.
Well,
it's not true, but
I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people. I will say I don't freak out during flight delays and shit like that. I just figure out a solution, but I lose things too often. Like I'll just leave a credit card in a machine or something.
Yeah.
Like that's where I become very scatterbrained.
I
feel like it's worthy of being
her wallet.
For that.
Her wallet on the way to the airport.
I did have a 3-month period in New York last year where I lost my wallet once a month for 3 months. And then it was always returned to me with everything in it.
Cash?
Yes.
Whoa.
So the
Dude,
first
it was
time,
weird. It was
that's
weird.
freaky.
I had
It was it's like a superpower. It's a very useless superpower.
Whoa.
You can lose your wallet and get it back.
Yeah, well then I learned my lesson. It was third time's the charm, never doing this again.
Oh my
Knock
God.
on wood. But the first time my zipper had broke on my guitar case, my wallet fell out on the subway platform. I got on the subway, I looked for my wallet, wasn't there. I got off the subway. We were on the way to the airport. So I got off the subway, looked on the platform, ran home, grabbed my passport, went to the airport, and was like, I don't have any money, but I have my passport, so we're going. And then someone Facebook messaged me to be like, hey, I found your wallet on the C train platform.
Incredible.
Return it to me.
Oh.
Second time, I lost it on this block, and I walked up and down until it got dark, could not find it. And then someone returned it to me at my local bank with a note that said, hey, you're pretty in your license picture. You should call me.
Oh, my God.
Which is bizarre. He didn't take any money, and my license picture is gross.
Oh wow.
I think you should have called that person from like a payphone and just been like, "Hey, this is Caitlin." Somebody's like, "Hey, I'm just giving you a call. Thanks for turning my wallet.
I'd like you to buy me food.
I left it for you to find me because that's what the genie told me I should do."
Well, I would do that, but please direct me to the nearest payphone to do
Good
that.
point, Jesus. Jesus, you're right.
Here is a question.
Yeah.
Have you returned a wallet to anybody else?
I've returned cards that have been dropped.
That's
If-
good
if
enough. That's
possible.
good enough.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for
Yeah.
karmic balance in
Yeah.
the
Oh,
universe.
Yeah.
Because if you ever see a wallet and you don't return it, whoever's wallet that is will become your arch nemesis. They will find you and destroy you.
Do you remember? Did you know Jim Van Blaricum when he?
I
lived
remember
here?
Jimmy Van B.
So he and I once found a wallet at the creek in the cave,
Yeah.
and I contacted the guy to return it. And Jim had this beautiful suggestion. He was like, "You should put something in it. Just put like something funny in there."
Yeah.
And we decided it would be a picture of Hulk Hogan's Pasta Mania back when that was a restaurant.
Oh,
So we
dude.
found that picture of him looking like Animal from the Muppets eating a big plate of spaghetti.
Yes.
I color printed it and put it in the wallet and returned it to the guy.
Yeah.
And we said thank you and parted ways. And I never heard from him.
Oh, God.
I never even
a
like
lot of
LOL
work to
Pasta
put,
Mania.
That is such a. I hope like later that night. I hope he was actually eating like at an Italian restaurant, and like opens his wallet to pay, and it's just like,
I just feel like
I belong here.
it's amore. Yeah.
This is. And he was at a fucking. And he was at a what's it called? An Olive Garden. I did. This is like family.
I was disappointed that he never got back in touch.
Yeah.
If
I
you're
love
listening-
doing that stuff for strangers, though. Like, we've talked about this on the podcast before, but leaving like little, when you know another comic or someone is going to be in a city that you don't live in normally, we'll leave like a little map and a scavenger hunt where we'll bury
Buried
a little
treasure.
gift.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love shit like
Currently,
that.
right-
Leaving
Beautiful.
notes in library books kind of shit. Yeah.
Oh.
Currently, right now in Hyde Park in London.
No, it's in Primrose Hill.
Oh, it's Primrose Hill
Yeah.
in London is a treasure buried for my siblings
Oh.
because they buried them and my
I'm
pet.
sad that we didn't do one in Edinburgh, but honestly, there was so much going on.
We were burying a lot of rage.
Yeah, I
We were-
buried my dignity in it.
I buried my
we-
dignity
yeah, we-
every damn day.
We were burying our pride on the day. There's a lot of pride buried.
Yeah.
A lot
You
of
go through
American
the
comedian
meadows.
pride buried in those meadows.
We
Wait.
left about 80 roaches scattered around Edinburgh.
Oh yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh,
man.
such
So-
a fest.
So wait, so after you fell asleep in this hotel room that smelled like ass,
Yeah.
and then you had a flight and you
We-
got home.
Two connecting flights.
Oh
we
my
got
God.
home and we ordered like $100 worth of Chinese food because you know when you've spent a lot of money, small
yeah.
amounts of money stop seeming like anything.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are together still, and I think there was some part of me that wanted to be like, "You better fucking marry me," but
Yeah.
that's the blade. That's hot knife right
That's
there.
hot knife. That's a hot knife coming out. It's that's hot where it's like glowing red.
Yeah, you better fucking marry me and not in Marfa.
Yeah, no, we decided that we would no longer attend weddings that weren't on the subway. So
smart.
we're sending gifts to people who get married out of town but not going.
You know, here's what I just realized is I was going to say the theme, sort of the story of this podcast episode would be if you're ever just driving down the highway and you see what appears to be a pair of keys, a set of keys in the middle of the road.
Don't drive over them.
I was going to say that. I was going to say don't drive over them, but pick them up and stop by the nearest wedding and see if anybody's
Yes.
lost them.
It
Yes.
would have been a true mitzvah if
Yes.
somebody,
Yeah.
a true miraculous good deed if somebody had.
However,
God,
here's
yes.
why I'm hesitant. Because what if someone had brought them back and then you guys just got back to New York stress-free and your relationship was never tested, and then it unraveled after that because you didn't see each other's assholes while you were freaking,
That's right.
you know?
That's right. You
so
know what?
maybe, in a way, just leave those keys there.
We
You
might
might
have-
be saving a relationship.
There you go. We would have cast our votes for Beto. We would have never known what it looks like when the other one cries. Oh boy, I
Wait.
don't remember the name of that hotel, but it's probably better that way. I don't know if I need to trash this
I mean,
hotel.
I'm expecting the invite to the wedding there. That's where you
my
guys
God.
have
Sleep
the
in
reception.
sewage. Yeah, come eat horrible tacos that cost $40.
Jesus.
Squirt, 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 squirt. Little squirts of the wrong
And you
sauces.
have a single malt to wash it down.
Like, Mexico is right there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. That would be an amazingly hilarious wedding reception. Just eating shitty tacos and just getting filled up on shitty tacos and single malt, and then everyone, let's go to Juarez.
Everybody, oh shit.
We're going to Juarez.
I wanted to tell this story on stage, but it's just too miserable, and it takes a podcast like this to really tease it out of a person.
Well, there you
So
go.
I'm glad that
Thank
you told
you.
it.
Yeah.
This was a fun episode.
Absolutely. Where can what is it? Just emmyblotnick.biz?
I got a .gov after this journey. It is a .com, but
It's just emmyblotnick.com.
yeah.
Cool.
And on Twitter and Facebook, it's at Emmy Blotnick.
Yes, I believe there's only one of me, and I'll be
EMMY
yeah.
Blotnick.
You know the rest.
Yeah, you got. Come on, spell it. You can do it.
Blotnick.
You got it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you both.
I mean it across the board when I say hot knife.
Yes.
Emmy Blotnick is a wonderful, wonderful wizard of comedy, and you should go see the magic. So see her, follow her, become a part of the journey.
Do it.
My goodness. Thank you both for having me.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Don't get stuck in the middle of Texas. Don't get stuck with your lover and lose your rental car keys. Don't get stuck or you'll end up in Texas.